Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl T Says,
No problem.
and we're back with another episode of the T Says and Pop Show. So let's get into it.
What's going on, people? So, my child wanted to talk about rap beefs more in depth because we only touched on it a little bit in the last episode. I just brought up some stuff that was unknown. Um, Me personally, and we also laughed because she just asked me if I had heard all the songs in the Drake Kendrick thing that went on, this past year. And I had to admit, no, no, I didn't listen to any of them
Y'all,
except Not
y'all,
Like Us.
y'all,
I'm keeping
y'all,
it a buck. That's and no, and I take that back. I probably heard snippets of some of the songs, but Not Like Us. Literally, the only one that I listened to the whole way through. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. But like I told her, I've always liked Kendrick ever since that Control verse. He said he was the king of New York. I like that verse, and he was roasting dudes that was on the song with him. That's balls. The only time that happened was freaking Ti and Ludacris dissing each other on whose record? I can't think whose record that was. But yeah, they were dissing each
it
other.
was Young Bucks.
It was Young
It
Buck?
was Young Buck.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I can remember that, other than, the Locks saying that Biggie was dissing them on You'll See, you know, talking about it but ain't living it, you know.
Well,
They said he was dissing them.
LL definitely dissed Cannabis.
Yeah, but that's
Four,
different.
three, two, one.
That's different for the simple fact that LL, so that whole beef was corny in itself. And I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you why. LL was feeling himself. He always felt like he never lost a battle, which technically isn't true. He just had the machine behind him. But he asked Cannabis to change his verse. Then he went and dissed him. That was some sucker-ish, let me say that. I'm trying to get demonetized. That was some sucker-ish. You know what I'm saying? If you felt like that, let him keep his verse on there. Then you put your verse on and just roast him. Do it like that. But don't ask him to change his verse and then you go and start dissing him. You know what I'm saying? That was corny to me.
And by the way, second round KO by Cannabis is my favorite diss record. It's just I don't know why.
Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
It's just my favorite diss record. It's my favorite diss record.
Okay. It's probably not even in my top five. But
To be for
but
you.
but so okay, so we're talking about so we're talking about diss records or rap beefs.
Because a
All right.
lot of the times you don't hear about the beef until the records come out.
Okay. So for me, and people always talk about hit 'em up, no Vaseline.
Isn't No Vaseline your favorite?
No Vaseline's not my favorite. By Common is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Because Common went at them West Coast Ice Cube and them, and Common wasn't known as a rah-rah type dude. He wasn't that guy, and he went straight at them and roasted all of them. And he performed it in LA, House of Blues.
Mm,
Now, granted,
mm.
Mac 10 was there that night. They was gonna kill him, and Fat Joe, Joey Crack, actually did. This is a true story. Joe said it. Common confirmed it. Joe actually saved Common's life that night because they was ready to get at him that night
For what though?
for dissing him. What do you mean for what?
So like this is hip hop. It's
Yeah,
sport.
but
Competition. Like
yeah, but not everybody looks at it like that. That some people look at it as you diss me on wax, we got to take it to the streets. And again, you keep in mind these young cats with a lot of money, time on their hands. That that's how they work. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what
so
it
not
is.
much has changed. Gotcha.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
To be honest, I think it's gotten worse now.
That's because of social media. That's really the
Yeah,
case.
but
Because back then, at least, and I was born in 89, so I don't really know what stuff was like in terms of like the 90s. Like it wasn't like if that were to happen, if Common, were to get shot up and all that good stuff at the House of Blues, it's like you'd only hear about the aftermath of it. Now, if that were something that was happening now, there would be somebody there with the cameras out, all phones all on your face and all that. Like it wouldn't have gotten as far because of social media. Social media has allowed us to see a lot of things that we don't need to see.
true, but it's still gotten worse now. Back then, you know, KRS, like as I'm getting older, I be forgetting these groups' names. But KRS threw some dudes off the stage.
Who are the dudes?
I can't think. Google it. Google's your friend.
Google it. All
Google is
right,
your friend.
let's see.
First one, it was Kim Dawn. That was her name. So
Okay.
they said something that Chris kind of took offense to it. They went to the show and just threw them off the stage and started performing. Stuff like that would happen. Go to Latin quarters. People was fighting, battling, whatever, but nobody was shooting nobody for it. You know what I'm saying? Rappers been getting shot since day one. Just keeping it a buck. Not for being rappers though. Like when Scott LaRock got murdered, that was over some stuff with D Nice that had to do with a female. So that wasn't no rap beef, so to speak. But rappers been getting killed since day one. But again, not like now. You got these drill rappers and cats from Chicago, and, and social media has played a major part in it, where cats going to people neighborhoods and pissing on people's graves and all this nonsense.
Yeah, you might be talking. Well, I feel like I know what you're talking about because there was. Now I don't listen to these guys, but I
Me
do
neither.
know that the one guy, I think they're from Jacksonville, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. But I do know that the one guy had beef with the other kid.
Fulio kid.
Yes, he had beef with him because I remember when the song came out. I remember hearing it. And I'm like, what in the world? Because it sampled Vanessa Carlton. If I could fall into this, it sampled that. So he went to the dude's grave and basically desecrating his grave and da da da. And then years later, on his birthday, actually, he was shot and killed. I think out in Florida
Hmm.
or Georgia or wherever that was at. But yeah, I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, but Big and Tupac both
So nope, nope, nope. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
saying.
Big and Tupac was something totally different. It was something totally different that got blown out of proportion by other people. Now we hear now, well, I ain't gonna say now because it's been rumored for years that maybe Diddy had something to do with Tupac getting killed. Diddy, not Biggie, Diddy had something to do with it. Now again, but that because there's been too many interviews. Like I watched an interview with Napoleon on Art of Dialogue, one of the Outlaws, and Napoleon, and I've heard him say this on multiple occasions. He said Tupac literally told him he didn't want anything to happen to Biggie. It was more of a misunderstanding, and it was a big brother spanking a little brother. But when you say that, and then you make a record saying you done smashed his wife, it's like a contradiction. But again, that 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 was born out of some other stuff that didn't have anything to do with rap. It had nothing to do with hip hop, so to speak. That was, and everybody know the story. So again, I ain't saying nothing that don't nobody know. Know that Haitian Jack, I mean not Haitian Jack, I'm sorry, Jimmy Henchman set that. He got mad about the rape trial and Pac naming him and all that and the third, blah blah blah. It's on public record. That's in the public domain. I'm not saying nothing that nobody knows. Doesn't know. That's different than Jay and Nas. Jay and Nas, that was rap beef. That Jay wanted Nas to be on the record. He wanted him to be on Reasonable Doubt. For that reason, Nas wasn't on it. Jay starts smashing Nas' baby moms. Then he starts dissing them on records. So again, that's rap beef, so to speak. Same with Prodigy. He dissing Prodigy on records now. Prodigy said they
I
ran
like
into
me
him.
Prodigy.
Yeah. They said, Prodigy ran into him at Justin's or whatever. And Jay said, yo, it's just rap, it's just music. A lot of that is just music. It's just music. You're trying to go viral. In fact, I remember Cam saying that Jim said that to him. Man, we should stage a fake beef and blah, 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 blah. Cam ain't want to do it. That's when that 50 thing happened where, 50 was talking to Jim and, he's like, yeah, let me see if I get in. And he got in. It kind of caused a rift between them, but there had to be stuff that was already going on. So that's always going to happen. I mean, you got DJ Quick, MC8, um,
Oh, DJ Quick.
DJ Quick, MC8, going back. So it's always been going on, but like I said, it's just gotten a little more violent, a little more over the top. Yes, Biggie and Pac died, but again, that wasn't that. That wasn't over. I'm saying it wasn't over music.
It hardly is ever over music.
Nah, but you got sometimes, yo. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The cats nowadays, these young cats, oh man, you diss me. I gotta go to your block. I'm gonna walk on your block and disrespect. Like it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Dad says that, right? But if I recall correctly, okay, if I recall correctly, who was Ti beefing with at the time? I want to say it was Lil Flip. And then didn't he roll up to Lil Flip's neighborhood or whatever, was sitting there and shot a whole music video?
Yes, but okay, but did he pull out guns and say, "I'm gonna kill you, little Flip"?
I don't know what he said in the record. I don't know what he said in the record. I don't know what he said in the record.
Yeah, but he didn't pull out guns. I'm gonna kill you, little Flip. He was dissing him, and that that was kind of embarrassing for Flip to go to your neighborhood and do that. But again, it's music. It was just music. If it's just music, then it's just music. But when you got drug dealers trying to be rappers to have money, other stuff, gets involved. I don't even want to get too much off into all that. But just, rappers been beefing on records and that shows and stuff forever. But you never seen like the Cold Crush brothers, you know, pull out guns on Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 at Harlem World over rap. I'm just saying. And shout out to Kaz. Kaz was my first favorite MC. Grandmaster Kaz. That was my first favorite MC. It was Kaz, then it was Mo D, then it was Shan. I just always thought Shan was gonna be bigger. And my man, shout out Gary Newton, G Money. G always talks to me about that. Because his brother actually, Pastor Derek Newton, the guy I'm shouting you out to. You took the picture with Shan last week and you put it on Facebook, and your brother sent me a message. He texted me, said, hanging out with your boy. I said, yeah, I know. I saw the picture. I always thought Shan was going to be a bigger MC. I was, I wanted to be Shan. I had the suede Pumas, you know what I'm saying? I had the Puma suit. I had all of that. For me, Shan was the dude at that time. But it turned out to not be. No, that wasn't Shan. That ha ha. That was
Candle in your face.
that was that wasn't Shan. That was Melly Mel and them. Ha ha. That was them.
Hands off in your face. Stuff in outer
Oh,
space. Like, what?
we didn't just do
And
that, did we?
that's hilarious because he called himself beefing with Eminem, and it's like, come on, bro. Come
Look,
on,
look,
man.
Melly,
Come
look,
on,
man, you gotta
man.
understand,
Come
man.
on, man. And KRS One, like, still trying to when I forgot what I think it might have been like one of them beef DVDs.
When he was talking about Nelly,
Yes. Yes. Don't ever battle KRS One. It's like KRS.
you're not gonna
Sir.
you're not gonna
I'm
diss Chris.
not. I'm not,
Chris
but that's not my
in
era.
a straight up rap battle, Chris would roast Nelly. He
Okay.
would roast him.
Okay.
But if again that was music. Chris took something totally innocent, thought it was a diss, and ran with it. But my problem with that whole thing at that time, and I don't know if y'all remember it, was that he was trying to stop Nelly from getting money.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah,
gonna
that
diss him, just diss him. You don't get on there talking about no, don't buy his records. Nah, don't stop that man money. If that's how you get money, let him get money. If
right.
you feel like you're gonna, roast him into oblivion, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But don't do that. That was the only thing that bothered me about that was when Chris did that. I mean, come on, Chris. You better than this, dog. You way better than that. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Nah, you good. You good.
One of the chaps needs something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I like drama. I like other people's drama.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
So, rap beef as far as my favorite aspect and element of hip hop, um, rap beefs, diss records, that's my favorite part of it because it brings out the and depending on what it's about, brings out these artists' real artistry. That's what we've gotten some of the best music to ever come out when we talk about,
Okay.
just records and things like that. Um, there was one of the an unknown beef I didn't know until like many years later. because we was just vibing in college. That's just what we did. Was that the Dream and Lil Wayne were beefing over Nivea?
Nivea.
So I didn't know that until like you go back and you listen to the songs, and it's like, oh, I love your girl. And then I think Wayne did Lollipop. Y'all let me know in the comments what it was. I think he did Lollipop, and he was dissing the Dream.
I never knew that.
But yeah, I didn't know that they were beef. But like you said, over a woman, whatever, whatever. Um, I wanted to bring that up because a lot of people don't know. I think wasn't Get At Me Dog a diss record? Because wasn't that a diss record, or not? Like maybe not even a whole diss record, but like a bar or something aimed at K Slay or somebody.
No, the original Get At Me Dog, DMX was dissing Tupac. He dissed Tupac.
Okay, it was Tupac.
Then he changed it to K Solo because K Solo did a record called Spellbound. For those that don't know, K Solo was Redman's cousin.
Shout out to Redman.
Yeah, Red and Meth. K Solo did a record called Spellbound, which was actually dope. He was one of them, what you would consider one hit wonder, because I was really like his own that and Your Mom's in My Business. And DMX said he did Spellbound, and they were locked up somewhere together in Westchester County or something like that. They were locked up together, and they used to battle, whatever, whatever. Then K Solo made the record. DMX said he made the record that he did the song originally, and it never got resolved. So they just used to diss each other like that. And yeah, that's what that was. I just found out recently that Party Up, got allergies.
Here we go again.
I got allergies.
And we see that on the first. Here we go again. We outside now. Here we.
We outside.
We was in
allergies
before.
Anyway, Party Up was a diss record too. DMX. He was dissing Corrupt with Foxy Brown.
I just heard about that. I just heard about that.
I never let it go. So yeah, he But here's the thing: you got to be a dope MC though to make a party record and diss somebody. You think about Toss It Up with Tupac. Think about Toss It Up.
Not like us, Kendrick.
And then.
Yes.
No, that's not what I mean.
Yes.
That's not what I mean.
Okay.
What I mean is Toss It Up. He's talking about slashing chick. There's porno stars in this video. He's dissing Dre in the record. He's dissing Dre in the record. That was hilarious.
And I also didn't know. I just recently found out that Dr. Dre, Keep the Heads Ringing, that was a diss record to Eazy-E. I didn't know that. I like the song. I just like the song. I didn't know that it was an actual diss record, and it was featured on the Friday soundtrack.
But yeah, I mean, I knew it was on the Friday soundtrack. I didn't realize it was a diss record either.
Yeah. When you listen to the words, it's like, oh. And then I think I had looked it up or something because something happened. I was like, oh, so that's what this is a diss record to Eazy-E.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You need to listen to at least listen to Euphoria. If you don't listen to none of the other ones, just listen to Euphoria.
I think I might have heard Euphoria. I'll go ahead and listen to it.
Euphoria is like one of the greatest diss records ever to ever exist. Like to ever diss. Exactly.
One of the greatest diss records ever diss.
To ever diss.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll check it out.
You need to listen to all of we cannot do this effectively speaking about like moments in hip hop culture if you as the old school don't step into the new school a little bit.
I've stepped into it a little bit.
A tad. Who's the last new artist that you listened to? New artist.
All right, when you say new, how new are we talking?
Just new, within the past year.
Of a brand new artist that came out in the past year?
Yes. And I would say mainstream only because, just something that you might have, heard on the radio. And I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm not big on new artists either, but I am trying to step out.
Lady London, she's actually dope.
Who?
She's Clark Kent cousin. She actually has a flow like Jay. But she's actually dope. She's been around for a couple years though, but she's actually really dope. The problem is I don't have anywhere to hear new artists.
In your car.
My car stays on Rock the Bells.
Rock the Bells radio.
Like I hear your girl Sweetie because she's on this song Proclivities with LL. For some reason, I hear her because she's on that song with.
That's not my listen. Shout out to Saweetie,
I'm
but
just
no,
saying.
ma'am.
I'm just saying.
I'm good
So
on some Saweetie music.
if they not on Rock the Bells or they not on 101.9, I'm not going to hear them unless I go on YouTube and it just happens to pass me by. So,
You
oh, he's a new artist. He don't look new,
no,
but
Dad. You need no. You need to listen to new artists and new songs in order for us to do this effectively. And I even know like this episode is about, rap beefs. I'm still just like, how have you not heard Euphoria? If you ain't heard nothing else, how did you not hear Euphoria?
the same way that you didn't watch Lovecraft Country.
No.
It's the
Euphoria
same.
is no Lovecraft Country is a TV show
Exactly.
where
Had one season.
you binge that, and that's like
But you
3 4 hours worth
haven't
of
finished it yet. That's the point.
but Euphoria is 6 minutes long. You can listen to Euphoria.
What if I can't get them 6 minutes back?
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Fine. I'll listen to Euphoria tonight. And then what's the other ones? Meet the Family, the Grams. What else?
It was Euphoria,
Okay.
Meet the Grams,
Okay.
616 in LA,
Okay.
and Not Like Us and Like That. Like That, and Not Like Us are the ones that's on the radio.
Okay. See,
With
that's a lot to listen to, but okay.
because he had to let him know.
Okay. All right. All right.
And then Drake.
Wait, those was all just Kendrick songs?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Yes. Like, how do you start to have this conversation about this and like what? I know that back in the day do like one or two and keep it at that. But you don't this was a moment. Like this was a moment in hip hop.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Then I'll listen to what I can. I'm just saying.
And then no, you need to listen to all of them. And then
All right. So is it
for
order I need to listen to them in?
yes, actually. Hold on, let me get the order.
Let
let me get the order. Hold on.
Just text me the order, man. I'm not gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember this. Just go ahead and
Try to text it to you
say
now.
I text you all those TV shows I needed you to check out.
Yep.
Text me.
Hold on.
Text me
I'm
songs.
about to
Text me
text
the
it
order.
to you right now
Text me the order,
because
and I'll listen to
it
them.
starts with first person shooter.
Okay, first person shooter. Got that. Got that. Okay.
First person. Matter of fact, no, I tell you, I'm gonna do you one even
Okay.
better.
Do me one even better. Make the playlist and send it to me.
No, I'm not gonna make no playlist. I'm gonna find the playlist that's already made.
That's what I'm saying.
All here we go. All that first one, all the songs and Kendrick what you call it beef. And I'm gonna just send this to you. Let me hold on. I'm gonna share it with you. There we go. Copy the link. Yep, first person shooter. Then Like That. Then 7 Minute Drill, which was J. Cole's song, but then J. Cole went in there and apologized, even though, whatever. Push Ups, Tailor Made Freestyle, Champagne Moments, which was Rick Ross's diss in that. You ain't really gotta listen to that one. It's like, Then Euphoria, 616. Then Family Matters by Drake. Then Meet the Grams. Then Not Like Us. And then The Heart Part 6 by Drake. The Heart Part 6 was trash. It was absolute garbage.
Yeah, that's why everybody thinks he lost, and he went and he went to HR to sue. So
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
What do you like? What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, that was some. That again was some sucker-ish because you started the beef. You started it, lost, and then you went to HR to complain that you lost the beef that you started.
Has there been something like that in any other beef that you can remember?
The only thing I think that probably came close was No Vaseline, where that scene in the movie where Paul Giamatti playing Jerry Heller.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll sue him. That's probably the closest where Jerry Heller wanted to sue Ice Cube, for defamation or whatever. He wanted to sue him most of this, whatever. That's probably the closest. Dudes, you weren't suing nobody. Because if that was the case, they should have sued Nas for roasting the with Ether.
Are we okay? Are we finally old enough to admit that Ether was not better?
First of all, I admitted it back. I admitted it back then. The problem was at that time they was on top of the world.
Mm-hmm.
when the beef came, everybody and their mother, Fat Joe, um,
Y'all let me know what y'all think in
Jazzo,
the comments.
all of them was in the studio or feeding Nas information about Jay. All of them,
Mhm,
all of them, because they wanted to see Jay fall. Joe has said on numerous interviews that he was just jealous of Jay.
mhm,
He was jealous of him. He said this, and you can find those on YouTube. I'll find the clips. I'll show him one day. He literally said that. I was just, I was jealous of that man because he really had no beef. He actually was cool at one point. So that fight happened at Club Carbon, and dude got busted in the head with the bottle,
mhm,
but they was cool before that,
mhm, mhm.
So I always felt like that because for me, when Jay made Super Ugly was more of a freestyle, so to speak. When Nas made Ether was a response to Super Ugly. What he had made,
Was it
yeah, yeah. Um,
fun? Because I read something where I thought Ether was a response to the takeover,
Takeover, no, the
and
Takeover
then
didn't come out until Jay's album came out.
but I thought Super Ugly came out after that.
No, it did. Super
Okay,
Ugly came out before.
okay.
Because, as a matter of fact, Nas made I can't remember the name of the damn song, but it was so when Jay had Izzo, H to the Izzo,
Mhm.
yeah, Nas made H to the Homo. He dissed Jay. He was like, he said, speed through Philly, eat beans fat. He dissed the whole rock in like 2 bars.
Oh.
He dissed him, you know. But yeah,
A good starting point to understand the order is Jay Z's Takeover, followed by Nas's Ether, after those Super Ugly and Jay Z
Super Ugly, man. That's what,
Super Ugly by Jay Z, and last Real N Word Alive by Nas are key tracks to consider.
man, that's real nigga lie was a diss to Dre.
Other tracks like You Wanna Be Me, Nas, Come and Get Me, Nas, and Blueprint 2, Jay Z further illustrate the back and forth
Blueprints.
nature of their rivalry.
Nope, you're absolutely right. Super, because now I remember Jay was crying. I mean, not crying on the radio, telling his mom told him to apologize for the
Oh,
baby seat thing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He shouldn't apologize though. He shouldn't have. All's fair in love and war.
Yeah.
I just heard an interview, old interview with Tupac, where he said people was mad at him because he said, "I ain't, my 4-4 make sure all y'all kids don't grow." He literally said, "We in war. I'm going to war. It's going to destroy them. But I don't want nothing to happen to Biggie. Make it make sense.
Well,
So make it make sense."
well. Um, what about Jadakiss and Beanie Siegel?
Well, Jay ate beans, yo, for real. And Beanie is mad underrated. Jay ate him up. I used to listen to the extended version of that disc. To the I used to listen to that joint when I was working at the insurance place. Sit there on lunch and just listen to music.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. With YouTube that damn it, too many damn apps on this phone.
He don't know how to use his phone.
What?
He's- He just got a phone just because he got a phone.
Whatever.
I guess at this part we'll do like the Jeopardy music. Doo,
We sure will. We sure will. My checkmate. And
6 hours later.
if you notice, whoever Jada gets at though, he definitely roasts him because he got at 50 too.
That's what 50 said that. He was like, it wasn't so much about like his Jadakiss can really raps. Like the what you said landed, the punchline landed. He's like, oh, like, oh, okay. Because somebody asked him, I can't remember what interview he was doing, but somebody asked him, was he ever in a situation where he felt like he might have lost a battle or something to that effect? And he was like, yeah, Jadakiss. And then he gave his reason why, like, oh, yeah, because what he said hit. And I don't remember that beef or whatever. I don't really remember what happened there. I remember a little bit about 50 and Fat Joe, a little bit, because I think that was
Well, 50 was just mad because they was in a video with Jod, doing New York. Jada ate beans. I like beans, but yeah, he ate them.
so. What was Beanie Siegel's? What was that over anyway? What happened? You would know. I would. I don't know.
So that was back when they would get in situations and he'd send his crew at dudes. So like, remember The Best of Me?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Jada was on that song first with Maya.
Yeah.
Okay, remember Fiesta? R.
Mm,
Kelly.
R. Kelly. Yeah.
Jada was on that first.
Wasn't he on the record though? Like, isn't he on the record?
Not with Jay. Jay did the remix. It's like he did the remix with Maya.
Well, I know he did the remix with Maya. I still listen to Best of Me, so
Yeah. So they was like, you messing with my man's money, but like, why are you doing this? Because it's like you cutting them off at the knees. They ain't getting no radio play because they playing the remix now.
mm, mm,
You know what I'm saying? They playing the remix with Jay on it now.
mhm.
They're not playing the Jadakiss version. So that was going on. So, you know, they had had little words. And so I think Beans dissed Jada first. I think Jay put the batter in his back. Same way like when Cam and Jimmy and them was coming at Jay. What he do? Put True Life, put the battery in True Life back and sent True Life at them.
I don't know who True Life is.
My God, talking about rap beefs. You remember when he did my jeans because he said their jeans was too tight.
No.
True Life getting at them. True Life was getting at them.
Okay, hold on. True Life, My Jeans?
Yeah, he's talking about Cam when Cam was talking about keep computers puting.
That's how Cam raps. Shout out to Cameron, but yeah, nigga. I mean, guy. All I can hear is that boy got stretch pants. That boy got. That's all I hear listening to this.
But the difference is True Life actually went at them cats physically.
Oh,
Yeah. And then he got sent up for 8 year bed, 10 years, something like that. I don't know.
it's like the next video. Oh, he doing an interview with somebody.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to watch that.
No,
Yeah, we'll come back to that later. But yeah, that was just our little take today on rap beefs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna listen to those songs. Since she sent me the playlist, I'm gonna listen to those songs in the car, and you know,
now this was also after Drake did like 3, 4 disses, and they were falling on deaf ears because Drake has a tendency that when he disses
yeah, he
somebody,
keeps going. I know, like
he
he did
keep
the Meek,
yeah. It
and then
only
and then
worked
it
for Meek though. It
yeah
strictly worked for Meek, and
because
that's the
Pusha
thing.
got at him, and
It worked for Meek, and Meek lost the battle. Then he tried to do it to Pusha T, and it didn't work. So why would you try it again, thinking that it would
well,
work?
I mean, he paying them ghostwriters for something, man. They you know what I'm saying? You're getting paid, you better make some records.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I listen. I cannot hold all the Drake fans. Can I hold y'all hand when I say this? Drake is not an MC. He's a pop artist.
Drake? Drake?
Please, let's come together. Let's come together into the world of realization.
Let's come together.
Drake is not hip hop. It took me a long time to realize that. No real rapper has a ghostwriter. Let's start there. And yes, I'm aware that Drake writes for other people. I'm aware of that. But let's not do
I
that.
can't agree with I now. I'll say this: I can't agree with they don't have ghostwriters. I can't agree with that fully
Eh,
because back in the day, yeah, you had to write your own lyrics, but now
exactly.
it's different because there's collaborations. Like again, Dre wrote "Still Dre."
Well, okay. Okay. Let me say this. It's a nuanced conversation because we all know that Cube wrote for pretty much everybody in NWA.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say
Mm-hmm.
that. It is a nuanced conversation. But for you to call yourself the greatest, the GOAT in rap, in hip hop, to embody yourself as such, the standards have been lowered for you, and that's a problem because that's not what hip hop is. What you do in hip hop is not what hip hop is. Now, again, hip hop has evolved over time. There are, it's branched out into different genres and all of that, but a lot of people view Drake as like the best lyricist, the best artist. Like they view him and they have him up here, when no, that's not who he is, and that's not what he is, and that's not what hip hop is. Again, let me hold y'all hand. He lost Okay, he lost.
Everybody knows he lost
No.
except for academics
And Maul.
and Maul. Here, Maul.
Maul.
Maul was
There is no shout out for Maul.
straight glazer.
F Maul. And academics.
All right, well,
Y'all are trash people. But anyway.
we're a little channel just trying to get on. We ain't trying to start no beef with nobody.
Care about no beef with no damn rapist. Let's start with that. I don't care about beefing with no rapist.
Which one is the rapist?
Academics.
Was he
Yeah.
grooming that little?
Yeah,
I ain't even get
exactly.
into that. I ain't even
So
get into
I
that.
don't
That's not
care.
what we talk.
I don't care. His fans come on here on my little channel, say what you gotta say. My opinion don't change. Academics, if I were to ever see you in person, you better hope my spit can't reach you.
So that'll be edited out.
No, don't edit nothing. Don't edit that.
We edit
Don't edit that.
Anyway,
Don't
yeah,
edit that.
it's been really. We're gonna end it right here.
Yeah.
We're gonna holler at y'all.
Academics.
We're gonna holler at y'all next episode. Again, y'all leave the comments if it's something y'all want us to talk about, something y'all want us to deal with, whether old school, new school. You know what I'm saying? New school, whatever. Let us know. We'll definitely talk about it, do our research, and like I said, as y'all grow with us, we're gonna grow. We're gonna get better. So we thank each and every one of our 11, 12
Let us
subscribers.
also let us know what other rap beefs that might be a bit obscure. We talked about some of the more popular ones, but let us know some other things that we should touch on when it comes to rap beefs.
Word.
Until next time.
Later.